This is a weird one for me. I was very much looking forward to seeing this movie. Not just for its credentials, which did pique my interest. Everyone I spoke to, which are well-versed people in movies and musicals, were incredibly divided. They either very much hated this film or very much loved this film. And I was just quite excited to see this movie just to find out for myself what I thought of it and whether I thought it was good. So, you're about to find out too. If anyone knows anything about me, they know I can't get enough of long flowing tracking shots which don't cut. Emmanuel Lubezki is one of my absolute heroes. And when this film opened with a very creative way to introduce the tone of the film by showing diverse car radio choices, I knew that there was going to be some things to love about this movie. The music wasn't too bad either. I didn't think that it deserved to win Best Original Song at the Golden Globes. I think that song from Moana is quite exceptional. But it was good. And some of the songs are accompanied with quite long sequences of just dancing, which is fine, but it gets a bit boring. They seem to be there for the sake of it a little bit. There are sequences in La La Land that choose to tell the story in a very abstract way, which usually would excite me, but it's kind of put up against quite conventional narrative techniques, and they seem so segmented that it kind of throws off the pacing, and you're wondering if you're going to get the story in a normal sense or a very abstract sense, and it just doesn't quite... I feel like it didn't quite fit together. The repetition of the melody in the main song throughout the film can get a little bit overbearing. It's quite frequently re-put in, but what I really did appreciate is when it was implemented in quite creative ways. There's an example where the two main characters are sitting at dinner, and the melody is playing on a song in the background on a vinyl record, but the song is quite a different genre, different timbre, and all this sort of thing. It's unmistakably that melody, but it's even at a different tempo. I really appreciated the creativity in those sequences and those scenes. The film has some great foreshadowing, some very, very subtle foreshadowing that I feel a lot of people will miss. I'm sure there's examples of it that I missed, but they also really added something as well. And Emma Stone really brought her A game on this one as well. She was really quite good and deserved of her accolades. But Ryan Gosling didn't really do anything special for me at all. He was good, but I feel like there's been better performances this year. So as opposed to the countless people who loved the film that I know, and as opposed to the countless people I know who hated the film, I thought the film was just pretty good. So I'm giving it a 6.5, which is a credit. The music didn't do a lot for me, and I do actually genuinely like jazz. And the film itself had some really interesting parts with some really unique ways of telling the story, accompanied by some fantastically directed sequences. But it kind of felt a little bit segmented and choppy in the way that the storytelling techniques kind of fluctuated. The film itself had some really interesting parts and some really unique ways of telling the story, but it felt a little bit choppy and segmented the way that fluctuated. Having said that, the directing and the camera work, scene to scene, was superb. It was really quite engaging throughout, except I think I saw a few focusing errors at some point which just shouldn't happen. So that's my take on La La Land. Agree, disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will. Like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.